If you're looking to buy gold, a shiny gold bar is my favorite option when it comes to buying physical gold. I went to my bank safe and got out a few gold bars and coins to help you visualize and better explain some things you need to know. I'm going to help make sure that you don't make any expensive mistakes that's going to minimize your investment. After this video, you're going to know how to get your first physical gold bar with complete confidence. So let's first talk about the options you have when it comes to buying gold bars. There are many different kinds of bars and brands out there which can be intimidating or overwhelming to the new to intermediate buyer. The best way to start is to go with the most popular gold bars by the biggest brands. Not only does this help you buy with confidence, but it makes them easier to sell because they're highly trusted. Even though gold is more of a safe haven and long-term asset, liquidity is always a big plus. You want to look for gold bars that are a bare minimum of 99.5% purity, although we typically are going to be buying gold bars that are 99.5% pure. Why even mess around? So let's first go over some of the gold bars that I have in front of me. The first and most popular is Pan Suisse. Now, this exact bar is 1 ounce, and I have over 50 of these in my bank safe, so this is my most common bar. These two are also Pan Suisse, also 1 ounce. It's just a different packaging, and I also have quite a few of these in my bank safe as well. So all 3 of these are 1 ounce bars by Pan Suisse. Next, we have the Royal Mint. And this example out of my safe is actually a custom bar here that is 1 ounce. It's a 007 bar. And this again is by the Royal Mint. The third is a 1 ounce bar by Perth Mint. This is also a 1 ounce bar. So all the front ones are 1 ounce. Now the back ones have some different sizes, which we'll cover in just a minute. But I want to cover one more brand here, which is Moody's Ostrich. Now, this is German, so I may not have said that completely correct. I am American, but this is actually a 50 gram bar, which is almost 1.5 ounces, which we'll cover in just a little bit. Now, as a beginner, I highly recommend going with PAMP as your #1 brand, and then the Royal Mint and the Perth Mint are 2 good options as well, but I think most beginners to intermediate level buyers should be sticking with PAMP Suisse bars for the most part. These can also be put in a gold IRA so you can get added tax benefits. PAMP started mining their gold bars in 1979, and most gold investors seem to go with the PAMP Suisse gold bar because it's the most popular brand. It's the most trusted, and it's simple to sell if needed. I have the most of these by far in my bank, as I just mentioned. So let's talk about the price you can expect to pay. Obviously, the price of gold is going to fluctuate, so the exact price is going to vary from day to day. If you look up the price of gold, what you are seeing is the spot price of gold, which is always quoted by troy ounce. It's a measurement that was used in the Roman times. A troy ounce is actually 31.1 grams, whereas the ounce we are used to is 28 grams. So just be aware of that difference. Side note, yes, gold was used for money by the Romans and even way before the Roman times, going all the way back to Lydia before 600 BC. Just a cool fact for you. So gold has been a valuable commodity for quite a while now. You can't expect to pay spot price for the gold you are buying because there are additional costs in refining and shaping the gold into a bar that you can invest in. There is a physical premium or markup cost that you're going to be paying on your gold bars. Considering this, there are a couple options you have. You could shop around for the lowest premiums to stack as much gold for your money as possible, or you can simply go with a trusted brand like PAMP, who may have a little higher premiums because they are well known and such a trusted brand. As a beginner, I think the better option is just to go with a well-known brand like PAMP to get started to avoid any troubles. And then as you progress through your gold investing journey, you can start shopping around a little more. Or even better, you can use a dealer to help you get started, as they can safely guide you through the whole process and even get you started with a gold IRA where you can get some additional tax benefits. We have our recommended dealer for physical gold in the description below. I do know people who have tried to do it on their own without a dealer starting out and did not have a good experience. So just be careful. Now let's talk about investing in gold bars versus gold coins. Although gold coins are an investment in gold just like bars are, I look at my gold coins as more of a collectible item than I do my gold bars. The gold coins often look a lot cooler and are generally more fun to buy and collect. The bars are just more plain. Although there is a but that comes with this. There is often a higher premium on gold coins because of the higher production costs. Gold coins usually have more detailed and intricate designs, so this increases the manufacturing costs. So let me show you some examples by going over some of my gold coins here. Now, most of these gold bars were purchased for around $2,100 per ounce. Some of these gold coins were purchased for as much as $2,400 per ounce. And two of those include these right here. Now, this one has a line on the front, so it has a very cool design. A little harder to see because it's in the bag. Also 1 ounce. So this was about $2,400, whereas this was about $2,100, yet it's the same amount of gold. This is just higher because of the design and production cost. Same thing with this one. This is an American Buffalo. As you can see, it has a very cool design on it, and it was more towards the $2,400 range opposed to the $2,100 I paid around for these right here. This one was a little less expensive because there's not as much design on it. This is the Canadian Maple Leaf, and this was purchased for somewhere between $2,200 and $2,300 for 1 ounce. This is actually a custom Bitcoin one. I like Bitcoin as well, so I like to get a Bitcoin one, and this was more around $2,250. And then this last one right here is the Australian Gold Swan. This was around $2,200 to $2,250. And again, it's 1 ounce, just like all these, but I paid more per ounce for these coins. Now this one right here, I just wanted to get out as an example. This is 1/10 of an ounce in a coin. And this gets way higher premiums because of the lower amount of gold. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Now, some gold coins are issued by governments as legal tender, so this can also add to the value and premium that are charged for them. I personally go with many more gold bars because you're just getting more gold for your dollar. I mix in some gold coins for fun and collectible purposes, but my main physical gold holdings are in gold bars to get the most bang for my buck. Because when it comes down to it, you want to get as much gold as you can for as little as possible, and gold bars are going to be the way that you do that. They have simpler packaging, there's no legal tender status, so the value is strictly based on the gold content, and they have simpler designs and are produced in bulk. This is why gold bars give you a lot more for your value when it comes to the actual gold content. So let's now talk about size. The standard size for the gold bar is 1 ounce, although they start at 1 gram and go all the way up to a kilo bar. The bigger the bar you get, the more value you save on premiums. So let's quickly just go over some of the size of these bars. Now, the bars all right here, all 1 ounce, which is 31.1 grams. On this back row, I have some different sizes for you to get a visualization. The first one I showed you, which is from Moon's Eye Stretch, and this one is actually 50 grams. If I put this up to another bar, it's not that much bigger, but it is about 1.5 ounces, whereas these right here are just 1 ounce. Next, we have a 10 ounce bar, and this is also from Moon's Eye Stretch, and that is 10 ounce. This is a 5 ounce bar from Moon's. This is a 2 ounce bar from Moon's. And then lastly, we have the smallest, which is a 1 ounce bar from Moon's. Also, just to give you a visualization, I got a 10 ounce bar of silver here out, and you can see the difference between 10 ounce and 1 ounce. If this was gold, it would be the same size. This one is just much thicker than this one right here. Now, I got about 10,000 ounces of silver back 15 years ago, and this is just one of the ones I pulled out of my vault. You can see it actually has some stains on it, which comes off, but it's been in here so long that it has a little bit of staining on there, which is easily taken off. And lastly, we just have the 1/10 ounce coin, which again is much smaller than the full ounce. One thing you want to consider again though is liquidity and storage. Although you are getting the lowest premium on a kilo gold bar, it can be harder to hide and store, and it may be harder to find a buyer. Remember, a kilo is 2.2 pounds, which is way bigger than these. At the time I'm shooting this video, a kilo gold bar would cost about $65,000. Your everyday person will not be able to afford this size bar. Of course, it would be easy to sell to a dealer, but if a situation occurs where society goes sideways, this is when these issues would come into play. You have to consider this. The opposite is true for your 1 gram gold bar. Very easy to store, hide, and exchange, very affordable for your everyday person. But you're going to pay as much as 30% on premiums, which is pretty darn high, and the same goes for your smaller gold coins. I personally like to go with mostly 1 ounce gold bars as they are still easy to hide, store, exchange, and they still have good low premiums. So lastly, let's talk about where to buy. If you're experienced, a local dealer could be the best option for you. You would simply go to Google and type in something like gold bullion dealer in your location and you'll get some local dealer shops for you. You can also go to an online shop like APMEX, but I have friends who have experienced lost shipments multiple times with companies like APMEX. My best recommendation is using a dealer like the one listed in the description if you are a complete beginner or even intermediate. They will help you get set up with the right bars, make sure they get to you, and make sure the process is smooth, and give you the option to add them to an IRA for additional tax benefits. A lot of times, again, the dealer is the better option for beginners rather than risking getting ripped off by a local dealer because you don't know what you're doing or having your shipment get lost from somewhere like APMEX. I've worked with the company in the description and they are one of the best in the business when it comes to gold bullion. Whatever you do, don't get your gold bullion from a jewelry dealer. This will be the absolute last option of all. I hope this helps you with your gold buying journey. See you soon.